Could the witness's statement be opened at page 16? Can you read the first sentence of the second paragraph, David, please?
I have no sexual function.
Thank you. Perhaps we could run the videotape. Can you explain what was happening there, Mr. Lomax?
She was called Mandy, and she was from Raynham, and she was 25.
You met her in Soho, and you paid her for sex.
I paid her for half an hour, £75.
For sex?
For wishful thinking. Haven't you ever thought you could do it when you were drunk?
She was removing her clothing, wasn't she?
I'm not blind.
So you paid £75 for half an hour of unclad chat.
I was ripped off. She didn't have much conversation.
And you'd still claim you have no sexual function?
Desire is bloody inconvenient. But the plumbing's not much good if you can't turn on the tap. You must know that, Mr. Crosby.
You obviously thought the tap might get turned on that evening.
I live in hope.
You speculated £75.
It was almost worth it.
Was it?
I didn't buy sex. I bought the company of a woman. For £75, I bought half an hour of somebody's attention. It was almost worth it. Most people give me 5 minutes.
You get lots of attention at the Harwell Centre, don't you? Lots of attention from Mum and Dad.
Very little function, actually. I used to work at a recycling centre. Now I just recycle air, breathe in, breathe out. That's my function.
But you'd like to do more, wouldn't you?
Yes.
Like to be a bit more independent?
Yes.
You can dress yourself, can't you?
Yes.
Wash yourself, read, write. You think you're capable of some productive work.
5 minutes, usually. Then I see them looking for excuses to get away. They think I don't notice.
There's lots you could do if Mum and Dad didn't worry so much, if they didn't insist on doing it all for you. You don't want that, do you?
No.
What sort of thing do you think you could do? David, what do you think you can do?
Breathe in, breathe out. No one pays you for that. I can make people cry. I'm sorry I make you cry.
David's injuries imprison him and enslave us.
There are no other options for his care?
He goes to the treatment centre for a few hours every day. I've had to give up my job to move closer to it. We can't afford private nursing.
Dr. Walsh has told us that David may soon lose his place at the Harwell Centre. Are there aspects of his care you feel you're unable to cope with on your own?
There's too many. I try to be patient, but there is a light in people's eyes, and sometimes I see it go out in my son's, and sometimes it dies and he disappears into the darkness, and then someone else comes and sits in his seat, and he's horrible. And it's like having a stranger in the family.
Thank you, Mrs. Lomax.
David's your only child, Mrs. Lomax.
Yes, I had several miscarriages before David was born. I was very lucky to have him. Very lucky indeed.
Almost a miracle baby, then. And you like having David at home, don't you?
I would like him to get better, but he's not going to.
Did he ever leave home?
He didn't have any money at the course.
He was living at home at the time of the accident.
Yes, but I said...
And you feel you have to watch over him constantly.
He could hurt himself.
Dr. Marsh says he can perceive threats to his person.
Well, Dr. Marsh didn't see him stuffing Brillo pads in the toaster.
The truth is you over-mother him, don't you?
No.
You give him sleeping pills.
Sometimes, yes, at night. He wakes up every half an hour.
He can't show initiative because you won't let him. You indulge him.
He has always been independent.
He's like a child again, and you want to keep him that way.
Mr. Crosby, please.
I don't want him like this. Sometimes I look at him and I just think, why didn't you die? And sometimes I still hope he'll just die.
Mr. Kavanagh, leave her alone.
I don't want him displayed like this in public. It's like a freak show.
Mr. Kavanagh, leave her alone. If that's your case, Mr. Kavanagh, I will rise.
It is, my lord.
No!